mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guy. With flipping ain't easy by your side.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy. Happy Friday to everyone out there. Hopefully you guys are doing well with your sales. And today I wanted to kind of go over a few things. I wanted to talk about, we're a full week beyond eBay Open. I know it's kind of getting to be a kind of a tired, sore subject, but I thought it would be a good idea nonetheless to do that and to go over some upcoming changes, not from what I say, but the list of things that eBay is planning on doing. I also plan on making a series of videos here going over some of the stuff that was said at the workshops from eBay. So you're not hearing it out of my mouth. You're not hearing it just, third party. Sometimes, when you're talking about policies and things that are changing, if you're reporting on what was said, sometimes that can be taken out of context. And I have a feeling that there's at least one thing that might be kind of skewed, and that is there's still a lot of confusion about it, and it's this whole idea of the 3 days after the return is filed. And so I want to dive into what eBay says about these things and see exactly if I'm wrong, or maybe I heard it wrong or reported it wrong, or if I was right. But real quick, just for those of you guys out there who are at eBay Open, check your email, because there you go. You have your $300 eBay gift card. I dare not scroll down because everyone will have access to my PIN number, which I ain't sharing. But they did follow through on their promises, so I'm very excited to get to spending. I don't know if I'm going to use that money to buy stuff that's underpriced that I can then buy, have it shipped to me, and flip. She wants to buy boots and stuff. I didn't go to eBay Open. I didn't go through all the torture of all that food that they put in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
All the conversation about eBay
God,
for
I've
days
heard it
upon
all.
days for her to buy cowboy boots. Sorry.
Wah.
You got enough boots. If you don't like the boots you have, we'll paint the ones you...
No. It's not that I don't like them.
Okay.
It's that I would love more.
Okay, well, I'd love more stuff to sell. So hopefully you guys can hear us.
Enough.
Hopefully you guys know, never enough. As a reseller, look, I think sometimes we complain about our death piles, but that's, if we look at it as an opportunity that, look, these are things, at least I'm not out of inventory. I think that's the worst place to be. It's usually a place we are in like October, November, and we're like scrambling. We're let's find out how much the dogs are worth. Let's list them. Let's find something to list
They're
that has some
priceless.
value. So, yeah, and our dogs, by the way, are...
No, dog.
Well, they're changing, right? So they're getting older, they're changing. And our dog Kylo is changing. I call him Froggy now because I said one day last week he started barking funny. And I'm like, what do you have, laryngitis? What's wrong with you? And he's having that kind of a hoarse, like raspy bark. And it's really just odd. So he's not complaining or whining or having a problem, but it's just he's out there just trying to bark, and it's like, dude, no one's taking you seriously anymore.
Nobody took you serious before. Now they're really not going to take you serious.
Yeah. And so I also want to go over a file that I received from eBay. So I met with eBay at eBay Open, and the rep there, they have like these clinics where they give you 30 minutes. Well, I didn't really take time at all on my store, but she said she was going to send me a file anyway, and she did. So I want to go over that. And I want to go over an article that Liz Morton put together from Value Added Resource, talking about your favorite subject, some of the AI transparency concerns, some of the concerns that are coming up as a result of using some of this AI technology. And if eBay's watching, it's really a message to eBay or any of the companies out there that's putting out this stuff, that your AI really needs to be refined. And I don't know if that's through a series of commands that you're giving this software, don't overhype the item, stick to the facts, whatever it is, but it's going to cause inads unnecessarily if it's not toned down. So I want to talk about some of that. So before we get to it, wanted to say hello to some of you guys that just get here early, and I think that's outstanding. We got Keith with us.
Keith was not first.
Oh, Jovial. I'm not used to Jovial being here first, so Jovial, thanks for being here. Got Keith. Pico says, how's everyone's week been? I said on Monday the lighthouse is going to shift soon, and his sales this week have dropped off only a couple a day, but it's bank holiday weekend and soon. So it's a bank holiday weekend for you guys? Because it's
a bank? What is that?
Well, I mean, talking about Monday being the holiday, like a holiday weekend. So next Monday is Labor Day for us out here in the States. So I don't know.
Not this coming Monday, the following Monday.
Next Monday, not this Monday. Not this weekend. This is a regular weekend for everyone. So if you take Monday off, you're going to mess yourself up. Kids going back to school. Isn't that like after Labor Day, or are they already gone back?
No, they were already, all of them have already gone back.
See, I remember as a kid, you measured things by Memorial Day and Labor Day. And so anytime between those dates, it was my time. Wasn't anything to do with the school.
Sadly, those days are gone.
Mike says, hi, John and Jen and FA fam. Back at home and digging into business. My eBay store has been on fire. During the 2 days back, it took me to pack over 40 items. Made another 15 sales. You shouldn't complain. There's a lot of people who wish they had your setup here. So good on you. We got Gail with us. Nice to see you, Gail. Happy Friday.
Pinballs and clapping.
Mike says on the topic, I hope that the Open was a sign of things going forward in a positive way. I'm aware that the eBay events in the past were a bit of a pep rally and things didn't change much. So we recorded the Profit Playbook podcast today, and we were talking about just trying to.
I know, but you're rocking me.
I rock it, honey. So
Wow.
we're on the Profit Playbook podcast.
Wrong podcast.
Yeah, that was the something other pocket. That was the Pocket Playbook podcast.
Wow.
Anyway.
Okay.
So we're doing the Profit Playbook podcast for tomorrow's episode. We recorded late in the week, and it was a pretty good conversation. In my opinion, the one thing that eBay really needs to focus on going forward, and I guess I'll give it away, Gen Z. They really need to do a better job of getting Gen Z on board based on there's so many things that I read about Gen Z. Gen Z is a different animal than the millennials. They kind of have an old spirit, and I think that they would thrive with eBay as both buyer and seller. So when we're at eBay Open, we didn't see a really good representation of Gen Z there. Not really, the younger sellers really weren't there. A lot of folks my age and older and stuff. So that's something that eBay really should be taking note. Like who's here? Who are our demographics? Who's here trying to do better as resellers and build a business? And I don't see a whole lot of young entrepreneurs out there, at least at eBay Open. That doesn't mean they're not out there, but it just there weren't a whole lot in attendance. Mike says, this time though, based on the 3 to 4 major changes all favoring the sellers, I'm thinking that they are finally aligning with this. Hopeful thinking I'm just off eBay high from the event. I think we all kind of are off of an eBay high, but I'm going to tell you a little story that no one's heard it yet officially, so I'll tell you a little story about my experience. We got Gail with a super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Put that
much.
back on the screen. Thank you so much, Gail. You're awesome.
Aw,
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Mwah.
So look. One of the things I want to kind of go over is one of the changes that's happening here, and it can't happen soon enough as far as I'm concerned. We sell a lot of parts or repair items on the second account. Things that we just, for whatever reason, we can't test, we won't test, incomplete, doesn't work right if we do test it, and frankly, it's good to know that there is a way to get rid of those items, and there's people out there who will buy those items to either part it out or to repair them. So we have these two Black & Decker, I think they're 20-volt batteries for your little power tools and stuff. And on the charger that we had, the charger was flashing like red. It's like for both batteries. I'm like, Okay, I don't know what's up. Maybe the charger's jacked up or the batteries are jacked up, whatever. So I sold the batteries like 15 something plus shipping, nothing at all, with a disclaimer: parts repair on the title, also in the item description, also in the item condition, stating that exactly what we did, the flashing lights. We explained everything so that someone's trying to buy batteries to maybe repair them or whatever can make an informed decision. So we sold them. Of course, they went to our favorite location, Puerto Rico, and heard nothing. About 3 weeks into it, we get a return request, and eBay approved the return, even though it's parts or repair, and we have no returns on those kind of items. So I'm like, okay, look, I don't care about the $12 return label. That's kind of $10 to $12 is probably what it would have been. I probably, in fact, would have just given a refund and said, here, just be done with it. No, for $15,
Yeah.
no, it makes no sense to spend $12 on a return label from Puerto Rico.
Right.
But for me, it was more about protecting my account. And nobody, and I'll say this until I hit the grave, nobody is going to protect your eBay account but you. You are just a number. You have to remember that. All the rah-rah going on with eBay, they show, at least they showed us that they cared. Will that translate into the future? I don't know. But I can tell you this, they're not going to go to a bat for you. If AI dings your account or a buyer like this hits you with an unwarranted return, nobody's going to protect your account metrics. And in this case, if you get an INAD, like we did, that counts against your return ratio. It's a much different kind of return than if they would have said, look, change my mind. That doesn't count against you. So my thing is, look, this is unwarranted. I did everything I'm supposed to do. I'm protecting my account, so that doesn't count against me. So while I'm out there working, because I know a lot of you guys are concerned that I'm wasting my time by making these phone calls, while I was working, I actually got 2 items listed outside on the app while I was on the phone with eBay. I got a rep on the phone. I had them do a callback. What are you doing? Okay,
Just focus on your
yeah,
spiel.
well, you're doing all these things around me, and it's hard.
Doing all the things.
I got squirrel going on, and I can't have that happen.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I'm on the phone with eBay, and this is like over the top nice agent, and I'm like, okay, here's what's going on, and I explained it, knowing where this conversation is going to go. They put me on hold. They put me on hold with this wonderful music. Oops, with this wonderful music. Oops, that's the wrong one. This is their new hold music, by the way. Let me just tell you something. If you weren't depressed when you called eBay, you are going to be depressed, and you better not be near a tall bridge or train tracks, because you might act upon that urge. I had to shut it off, but I got to tell you, they put me on hold a couple times, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So they put me on hold. They came back and said, okay, the best course of action is to email your buyer and have them close the return. You think that's really going to happen? I said, you know what? I said 90% of the time you guys come back with that answer, and 90% of the time that's the wrong answer to give the buyer, because buyers don't look at their messages the way sellers do. At this point, I know eBay's got you constrained. There's nothing, you have no empowerment whatsoever. I'm not upset at you. This is an eBay problem. Let me talk to a supervisor. Oh, they're only going to tell you the same thing that I just told you. I said, I don't care. At least they have the authority to step outside the box if they need to. They transferred me, and within 3 minutes, he said, you know what? You're right. You did everything you're supposed to do. I'm going to go ahead and close this case. Got the message from eBay, and guess what? It says nothing is being held against your account. We release back the funds with no refund to the buyer. eBay didn't even refund the buyer. Good job on eBay for having our back. But the problem that I have is that most people won't take it to that level of speaking to a supervisor, because they tell these reps, oh, we'll tell them that the supervisor's just going to say the same thing. These are all tactics that frontline agents use to do what? To get you off the phone. And eBay has to do better. And this is a big concern that I have, is that we were at eBay open for 3 days and everyone was proactive. I promise you, if that would have come up while I was at eBay open, all I had to do is approach one of those reps there or eBay employees. They would have found the problem and wiped it out like that. But the same empowerment doesn't belong in the call centers, and that's where everyday sellers, that didn't go to eBay open, that's their only line to eBay. And if I'm getting a different result at eBay Open, or by getting a supervisor, than the average everyday seller, those sellers are going to come back and feel like, I don't care about eBay Open. You guys don't care about my situation. This should never have happened. So eBay's got to do better and find a way to empower these reps so that we don't have to fight tooth and nail over something as ridiculous as that. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to go into, because we've been 15 minutes in, not really quite a diatribe. I did say hi to some folks, and we'll say hi to some folks here in a little bit. But I do want to talk about the day 1 and day 2 announcements, because there wasn't really any announcements on day 1. Actually, on day 3, it was more of just a bunch of. Whoops, hold on. We got some other things going on here too, but it was just a lot of kind of review, and I do believe they had some workshops, but I think they covered a lot of the same stuff they covered on day 2 as well. So there wasn't really any news there. Before we get on to that, though, I do want to acknowledge we got Keith says, "No, Gail, you don't get to steal the crown that easy." So you guys are trying to fight for the #1 ranking on the leaderboard, but
so do you get a higher ranking if you do super chats?
I guess you get extra points or something.
Oh.
So
well, look at you guys fighting it out.
Let me say this, that I am still dealing with my eye issue, but I'm going to fight through it here. It just the way it is. I got a referral to an ophthalmometrist with a TH. I don't know why. Ophthalmologist. You know what? I was telling Jenna. No. I'm going to tell this. Ophthalmologist, right? Well, what happens if you're dealing with Mike Tyson, right? It's like, how are you going to know where to send him? The ophthalmologist or an ophthalmologist? So I don't know. The names are too close. But we got Keith says we got a membership to Joe Samard. Awesome of you.
Right.
Thanks, Keith. And also a membership to
Spam Banshee.
Spam Banshee. That's
Look
awesome.
at that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, another one under here. Jay Wonders.
Jay Wonders.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Keith, for that.
Thank you, Keith. That's actually cool.
Thank you for supporting the channel. We certainly appreciate you guys. So now I wanted to go into this anyway. Oh, and by the way, to finish the story, because I got off on the Mike Tyson thing, they still haven't received my referral, this ophthalmologist, and I may not get an appointment until like next week. But they won't make an appointment because waiting for the referral, because we have Aetna, which apparently they don't allow you to make simple appointments until they see the referral for themselves. I don't know.
It's all a scam. Healthcare is just a scam.
So here we go. Day 1 announcements. And I'm not going to cover each one of these, with a fine-tooth comb. Honestly, I'm going to just kind of go gloss over it and kind of discuss things that maybe catch my eye. So AI assistant for messaging. And I don't know if you guys have received a little pop-up message that comes up on your eBay account where you can allow AI to answer basic questions for you. I've done it. It's not bad. Yeah, you might need to change a few things, but it's certainly better than going through and typing an answer out. Something to maybe look into, to try it if you haven't. It's automatic responses, but you send the responses. You click on edit and send, and so you click on edit and send. You can edit it and then send it out, or just send it out if you want to. How many of you guys have seen offers in your messages? So here's one like right here. You can see how that looks. So someone sends you a message. You have an offer you can send in the message. Or here's that edit and send I was telling you about, how you can just kind of add to whatever the message is. And then you can also see any offers. And this example doesn't show it to you, but you can see any offers that you have in your messages that you've sent them. So you're not fishing for that information, like, did I send this guy an offer already? So it's something to look for. I think it's going to make that conversation go a little bit easier. How about this? Track your costs. Now, let me just say this without offending anyone. I think there's a misunderstanding. There's been content put out there saying that, oh, it's Those of you guys who are using the accrual method for accounting, I use the cash method. You shouldn't use the. It has really nothing to do with your accounting, to be honest with you. I think most of us use the cash method. I'm not an accountant or a CPA. Ask your CPA if you want to know more about that. But simply put, the cash method is a way to say, look, through all the different ways that I bought my merchandise this year, I spent $20,000. I bought, I had 10,000 here, 1,000 there, 100 here, and it all added up to, and you're not drilling down to the per item level, right? Now, tracking your costs is not about, to me at least, is not about your taxes. It is about how to keep track of an item so that you can help to, when you're using software like, say, My Reseller Genie, check the link down below if you're interested in that. Or if you're just looking at eBay's stats, right? It's incomplete because eBay stats are going to show you how much you spent on eBay fees, how much you spent on the labels if you bought it through eBay, but it's not going to show the cost of goods. So it gives you an incomplete net number. So your net is never going to be accurate. So like right now, it shows me like 54% net on eBay. I know that's not accurate. It's more like 45 to 48%. So that's a challenge, right? And why is it a challenge? Because if I'm trying to look at the items that I've sold this year to kind of review, I'm going to say to myself, look, these particular, let's say these shoes that I bought maybe aren't returning as much as I'd like to see them return at $5 a piece. And so maybe next year I'm going to back off buying these shoes. I think it is very, very important for us to review our costs as it relates to what we're selling so that we can understand if that's a good buy or not. Because I think with the number one rule, it's how you source is how you win this game. If all year long you're sourcing slim margins, and maybe that could be put towards better items instead of buying something for $5 and selling it for $15, well, your numbers aren't going to lie to you. And it's now some people will push back saying, I don't want my cost data in my listings. Look, if that's all you got to worry about, eBay doesn't care about how much you bought those shoes for, to be honest with you. It isn't like they're going to say, let's up their fees because they're getting 50% margin. This is 100% optional, and it is 100% a tool that you can use to help you track what you're buying and if it's worth buying again. And this whole idea that it's for taxes and whatnot is it's just a complete misunderstanding.
And, well, what blows me away is the fact that somebody allowed this statement to come out of their mouth stating that eBay just wants to see how much we're making on each item.
You hear it all the time.
That's absolute horseshit.
Well, don't call it horseshit.
It is.
It may be bullshit, but
it's
not horseshit.
bullshit, horseshit, whatever shit you want to call it. But that is not they do not care. They only care about the end result when your fees go in their bank account.
And you're talking to someone who will look at a conspiracy and go, well, maybe there's something to it. I promise you, eBay doesn't care about your expenses.
No.
Now, this feature is something that people have been asking for a long time, to get that data for you to look at your numbers. When you're running your reports, that net number that you're seeing right now is incomplete. Mm-hmm. Now, this allows you to, according to eBay is helping sellers understand and track their cost of goods, their COGS, by introducing an optional your cost field. Sellers can update the cost data at any time. Just ad rates, all that stuff. Well, I don't care about ad rates. It also feed into the earnings page located under the Seller Hub Payments tab. We've talked about that. You guys have seen that almost on every episode of this live. Our Seller Hub payments, not payments, but our earnings report. This feature will begin rolling out to U.S. sellers this fall and will be available in the Seller Hub single and bulk listing tools under details page and in the earnings page. So you can do bulk listings. Let's say you have 100 items that all cost $1. You can just assign that as a bulk edit to that. So that's day one. It wasn't a whole lot offered in day one.
So when is that becoming effective?
This fall.
What does that mean?
No exact dates. This fall, when the leaves turn color.
Well, we don't have that, so.
I mean, there's no exact dates, right? So, it could be anywhere between September and November, right? That's technically fall. Day 2, run this through this real fast. How about this? This is what I was talking about. Seller item not received protection. So this is, well, not the one I was talking about in this show, but earlier I was. So you have an item not received. Starting in October, so in 2 months from now, eBay is implementing a new measure to ensure sellers aren't penalized for shipping delays outside of their control. When a seller ships on time with eBay labels and tracking shipping, eBay's got your back. That's what they're saying. If an item is delivered after you give that forced refund, so an item not received case is open, you confirm the tracking number. I don't know why you have to confirm the tracking number, but fine. I'll play your game, eBay. I'll confirm the tracking number. And I did one today. We had an item that was being shipped to Saipan.
Saipan?
Saipan is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean somewhere. And because somebody planted a U.S. flag on it, we are stuck. That's a nice place.
Well, I would like to visit there.
So
That
this
looks
is Saipan
beautiful.
right there.
The Grotto. Oh, it's by Guam.
The grotto. Is that like the ghetto in Saipan? Nonetheless,
No,
it's over by
It
Guam.
looks beautiful.
And it's over between the Philippines and Colonia. Where the hell is Colonia?
How do people live in these little tiny islands?
Saipan. He's buying an alternator for his car. And he said the car is still up on the jacks. I mean, did you think this was going to get to you overnight? So, nonetheless, that is Saipan. And this guy is sitting there with no car.
A Lau Lau Bay Golf and Resort.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Let's go.
So, that's where it's going, Saipan.
Suicide Cliff.
And so, he messaged me. I said, give it another 4 or 5 days. This is going to be put on a boat. It's on its way to Saipan. I don't know what to tell you. We mailed it on time. And 4 or 5 days came, and he opened up an item not received like I told him to. Now, what's going to happen? It's an open case. I've got like 3 or 4 days before I've got to take action and give this guy a refund. Okay? And so when that day comes, I'm going to give a refund, and it's going to be out of my pocket. Now, if the item arrives, I got two different things I can do. One, immediately open a lost USPS claim. Okay, USPS has been very good about refunding sellers when an item's lost within a couple weeks. Immediately open that claim. And number 2, and I probably should have done it already because it's enough time has elapsed. Number 2, when that day comes where I have to refund the buyer, I'm keeping track if that item's been delivered. If I show within 30, you have 30 days to act, that item's been delivered, I'm contacting eBay. Yeah, you got to call them. Have them call you back. Going to contact eBay, and they're going to look at their... Now, this has been going on all year, by the way. This is not anything new. So, you know, you may have to wait the official date in October, but I've been reimbursed every time. If a buyer received that item because you gave a forced refund due to an item not received case, eBay is going to give you your money back. Yeah. And so that's a good thing, and I think it's something that we don't have to worry about anymore going forward. How about this? No returns accepted enforcement. So beginning in October, buyers of as-is listings will see clear, prominent messaging for parts are not working and no returns accepted at every stage. Anybody that's been around the channel knows this was my suggestion. Mm-hmm. All they got to do on a parts or repair listing is as soon as they hit the Buy It Now button, a little thing pops up and says, you are aware this is for parts or repair as is, and there will be no returns. And they'll have to click OK to be able to continue. Well, that's what's happening here. To help ensure the buyers understand they're purchasing an as is for parts item. For these items, returns based on remorse will be completely blocked, so no button for returns, or at least it won't be an option for that. And not as described claims will face stricter requirements. Now, the claim window will be shortened from 30 days to 3 days on these listings. Now, this is where the confusion comes from that I had told you at the beginning of the show. eBay is saying the claim window will be shortened from 30 days to 3 days on these listings, so parts or repair listings, meaning that they only have 3 days after they receive the parts or repair listing to open any kind of, oh, I ordered an alternator, you sent me a mop, okay? Yeah, you have 3 days to correct that problem, right? After 3 days, it's yours. You have no recourse. You're done. Now, I think what we did at the eBay Open was misunderstand that and say, oh, You get a return request, 30-day return request on that 29th day. The buyer gets 35 days additional to get off their butt and send it in. Oh, they only have now 3 days. I think that is incorrect. According to this, they only have 3 days on the parts repair to actually open a return, not 30. Mm-hmm. So, if it's grossly item not received, send them an alternator and they get a brick in the mail. Well, they've got a case to make with eBay. Unpaid items. Here's another one that was announced. Unpaid items. Buy it now transactions now require immediate payment. Currently, 99.9% of these transactions are paid. Now, the other 0.1 is probably due to something wrong with their account, their bank or something. For best offers, buyers must have a payment method on file, and 99% are paid automatically when accepted. We've launched auto pay for auction wins, including for sellers who offer combined shipping. So if you have combined shipping and they have multiple auction wins, buyers can either have their payment processed automatically 1 hour after winning an auction or choose shop more and ship together. So they win an item, eBay will put it on hold while they shop for more of your items. If you want to have combined shipping, the buyer has that option. Here's another one. Verifying buyers. Are they saying that everyone's asleep? Okay, well, look, I'm going to gloss a little bit faster. Verifying buyers. Verify bidding now requires a phone number for all bidders. More announcements. Feedback. Automated feedback. This is another one. 1 in 3 buyers leave feedback. So beginning in September, when a seller in the U.S. uses a track service, delivers on time, and no issues are reported, eBay will automatically leave buyers positive feedback, which means that you're going to get more positives. Your positive rating is going to go up higher because the ratio between positive and negative is going to go up on the positive side. We don't care about inventory mapping API. A lot of you guys don't use APIs, which is the connection from third-party programs to eBay. eBay advertising AI advancements. New ads destination within eBay mobile, allowing sellers to promote on the go. I don't know what that means. I didn't go to the workshop, but we will cover that later on in this channel. eBay advertising is leveraging AI to deliver suggested campaigns. And we don't care about payments and capital access. At least I don't. So look, not to try to put you guys to sleep in any way, shape, or form. Scott says, warning, you have exceeded your rant time. Please get to the chat. Thank you. So look, this is about education. The first part of the show is to show people the things that they missed, to clear up some things like that 3-day thing I was telling you about. I think there's a lot of confusion about that.
I also wanted to point out on the go down on the item not excuse me, sorry. Item not received. It says when a seller ships on time with eBay labels and tracking.
Glad you caught that because a lot of you guys use Pirate Ship, right?
Yeah.
Pirate Ship, FedEx. We have a FedEx account.
We have FedEx.
So it's going to make you think, like, you know what? If I'm going to be forced to send a refund to my buyer if something happens to the package, eBay's not going to have our back if we shipped it by Pirate Ship. Yeah. According to this, now you have uploaded your tracking information. Of course, they can see it just the same. I've never run into that yet where they're like, okay, did you buy this label from us? But why would they put that in there when a seller ships on time with eBay labels and track shipping?
I have a feeling that's going to come in to play. Somebody's going to have that experience where they bought something or they used a Pirate Ship label and they're not going to cover it.
So Juan at Nose Addict says, hello all, John and Jenna, nice to see you. Pitco says, I wouldn't go as far as to say eBay are turning a new leaf. We all have hard promises from eBay before and failed to deliver. We need to hold of to see what happens. I am always hopeful. I am always hopeful that Scott will stop texting me. I'm always hopeful that eBay will have our back. And
I've been waiting. Don't threaten me with a good time.
So I'm going to continue to hope. They put this in writing, right? They've said this is what's going to change. So they have this now in writing. Now, I guess you can say, well, what about the other things that they told us they were going to change in the past, like instant payments? Took us like a solid 2 years to get that. I really, 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 really think the problem with instant payment, the difference this time as compared to last time, the reason why it took so long for them to implement instant payment was PCI compliance, which is the payment card industry, doing the things that will prevent them from having chargebacks. Like, oh, I bid on this item. I didn't know I was going to get charged for it. I don't recognize this transaction. Now eBay's holding the money because we're protected by seller protection. So all those things had to get ironed out. Payment systems had to get online, and things work now, right? Now they just got auctions coming to where we don't have to wait and harass people and send invoices. You're going to be paid in a more timely manner. Juan says, I was pretty pleased with the open. Seems like they're trying to move back to seller support. I hope. Juan says, my sales are 50-50 eBay and Etsy now. I see a spike on Etsy when eBay underperforms, like my customers are aware of the two stores and bounce back and forth. Yeah, we're mostly eBay. So did you ship some Poshmark order?
I sure did.
Oh, I didn't even notice we had a sale.
Yeah, we've had 2.
Keith says, just remember, with eBay, for everything, they give us a heads up. There are things that they're not telling us, and it's those that normally upset sellers. And right, so how would you guys like if, and I was asking Scott and Josh about this, if they gave us one of those seller updates that was really nothing, right? Like one little thing, and then like, okay, we're going to enhance this and that with the site. How would you have liked to gone to eBay Open just for that? For me, I think that it's more than what I expected. I was kind of expecting just that when I went, and they gave a lot more than I even expected. So again, it's just lip service, but will translate into less pain points for you and I, and that's the hope. Keith says, also, if they're making these promises to us sellers, what are they going to offer the buyers? How that impact back on us sellers? eBay has always proven to be a double-edged sword. Again, they got their buyer protection. I think that should be enough. I mean, you can go on to eBay and know that no one's going to scam you. No one's going to deliver you a brick when you advertise an alternator. And if you can prove that, now again, you're going to have scammers that will try to work the system. But for the most part, 99.9% of buyers, and it may seem like a higher number to you, but I challenge you, it's not that as high as you think it is. Most buyers are not scammers. So, let's see. Kevin says, good evening. Nice to see you, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin.
And we have Susan Phelps, but she wanted to change her mind on what she said.
No, she probably had a little typo,
okay.
and so she filled.
Hey, FA family. Hope sales are good and wallets are full.
Yes, I hope you too.
No, wallets aren't full enough.
No.
Wallets are not full enough.
My wallet's empty.
And did I tell you guys that my chairman life is over with? I'm no longer the chairman. So we went to the casino when Mike and Archie were out here, and I'm like, yeah, wait, guys, I want to see what I got, what kind of offers they're giving me, the chairman and all. And I couldn't find my card, which means that when Jen and I went the last time, we were playing on that card, and I left the damn thing in the machine.
Which is, it happens all the damn time.
Yeah.
And I always, right before we get up, I almost always tell him, don't forget your card.
Yeah.
And he'll go back and grab it. Well, I must have not. I failed as a co-chairman.
I got kicked out of my chairman role, so that sucks.
Well,
Susan says, does anybody know what happened to Tech and Sports? Have not seen a new podcast in a while. I'm going to skip that comment because I don't know Tech. I don't know his business, but I do know that they did get into the AI game, and sometimes when you get into the AI game doesn't respond that well to your situation. That's all I'll say.
Sunny!
Sonny's with us?
Yeah.
Keith says, there it is for anyone that wants it. Oh, he has his channel, so go check out Keith's channel and give him a follow or a subscribe if you care to. Let's see. Mike just subbed. Just everyone, let's give Keith some support on his channel.
Yes, absolutely. Please do it. Do it now.
Henri Squaw says, howdy, John, Jen, and FA chat. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Yes, thank you, Henri Squaw.
I hope you are too.
Flip It Good is with us. And we got Biscuit Butt. What the dealio? He's fired up. He went to...
So, wait. I want to know, is there a full moon? We have Biscuit Butt, and we have Bearded...
And we got Ping G.
Ping is very dedicated to us, and she never misses.
Yeah.
But those other two guys, they can be a little shady.
But Archie's fired up for reselling. He wanted me to know about 2:00 that he had some really good stuff. So he's going to be telling me about it later. Coppercat says, "Happy Friday, everyone! Nice to see you."
Happy Friday.
Classic Phase says, "Hello. I hope you're feeling better. Cheers." I'm feeling fine. It's just, like right now I'm wearing a contact in my left eye. I notice that when I don't have the contact on, my eyes dry up real bad and everything's a fog. So I have my trusty drops here and I have my contact on and it seems to be fine and I can read with the contact on. But the caveat is I leave the contacts on for more than a couple hours, then I know the next morning my eyes are going to be red and just nasty. So we're going to get it figured out. Maybe it's something I have to take medication for, severe dry eye or whatever. David Pentland says, from Scotland, says, "Good evening, Jenna, John, and the FA family. Nice to see you."
Hello, hello.
Henri Squaw, "I'm just in a wait-and-see position at this time. They haven't done enough to regain my trust that these changes will be flawless." And it's sad that we have to feel like we don't kind of trust. We hear what they're saying, we see what they're saying, but we don't quite trust it's going to happen. What are you doing? It's this here. I think it's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, it makes me look better when it blurs, but...
No, it doesn't.
I think so.
It's terrible.
I rather see myself blurred than not. Let's see. She's playing with the camera. So the Gargoyles Den Diecast says, "Lord knows their seller's help is ridiculously atrocious."
Oh my God, it's so atrocious.
It's like, let's
Vast
mask
difference between what they experienced at eBay Open and
it's no productivity.
There's no comparison.
But it's training. It's training. It's going to take a while. If they wanted to, it's going to take them a while to get those frontline reps trained anyway. But they say, let's mask our incompetence with over-friendliness. And it really comes off as phony. It's like, fine, you're very happy. Have a great, great day. And just this tone that is just...
It's
just over the top.
Like they're trying to make up for their lack of information or helpfulness with being nice.
Yeah, congrats. Enjoy the $300. Yes, I will. But I just want you guys to know we're gonna have some giveaways on this channel at some point. I want to figure out how to do it so that we can include the everyday viewers that are in the chat and the people who are actually just can't make the afternoons to watch us when we're live, and they're on the part of the replay crew. But I've got a set of these. We picked these up. Except I'm missing the last piece. I'm missing the closing ceremonies one, and I'm waiting on Josh. I don't know if he's going to ship them to me. He said he was with my badge. He picked them up for me. I've got 2 sets. One is earmarked for Primo and Spam.
What is that? Oh, it's a check mark.
And the other one is going to be given away.
How come you have 2 check marks?
Because I've got 2 sets. Got 2 sets.
Oh.
So the goal is to go through and to do some giveaways for the channel with some things that we picked up, some bags and some things like that. And you've got a shirt that has that on the front, by the way, that's on its way to you. So
this one says eBay Live. Oops.
So we haven't forgotten about it, and I've got an eBay notepad or like a spiral notebook that still sealed that I never used. I'm just gonna give it away, give it all away in one big giveaway with the button or the pins
eBay
and
advertising.
Stuff. Let's see. Mike G says, "I got an email from eBay stating that they're sending me a $100 gift card for signing up and involved during 3 days of eBay Open." Is that right?
Nice.
So
that's awesome, Mike.
Was there an interactive part of eBay Open when you guys were viewing it? Maybe that's part of it. That's really cool. If I'd have known that, I would have said, look, Jenna, let's maximize this thing. You stay home. You get on the live. Let's try to get that gift card. Really, that's
would.
not the motivation.
He so would. Oh, my God. He's not even joking.
Biscabus is weird. Kylo said John is getting old and changing too. He told me John toots a lot nowadays. No tooting,
no.
sir. Travis in Dallas says, my cat had a raspy meow because he was dehydrated. Might want to make sure your dog's drinking enough water.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did check. We had a large automatic water, and so I check the levels on it on a pretty much a everyday basis. For one, when do I need to fill it up? For two, they are going in and out outside throughout the day, and with it being 110, it's important they get water all day long. So, and they're doing good with the water. So.
Time to Sell Collectibles is overseas. Where are they at, honey?
They're in Nice,
Thank
France.
you. I was waiting for her to say they're in Nice, France.
No, you were gonna say
no,
that.
of course not.
Lies.
It's Nice. I would have corrected you if I would have said no, honey. It's Nice, not Nice.
It's Nice.
It's Nice.
How exciting! I hope you guys have the best time.
We got Mix Mercantile says, "Hey, John and Jenna caught me in the middle of taking photos."
Oh.
There you go. Get that photo work done. And you know that's the thing about these AI listers. Doesn't matter if you're listing manually or using your AI lister. You still got to put the work in, and there's still work to be done. Hours upon hours of photos, and I think once the newness of a lot of these tools, you know, like, okay, I still got to do the work. Okay, I think people are going to start reverting back to the norm of listing X amount a day instead of hundreds a day. Harbor's Hope says, good afternoon. Nice to see Ron.
Good afternoon.
Biscuit Bus says, Jovial, give John Keller a pass. His eyes have been acting up. Wow. What did Jovial say? Did I miss what Jovial said?
I don't know. You keep going so fast.
I know. I'm trying to get through this chat so we're not way behind.
Well, that's your fault. You don't know how to.
She needs to take. I think on Monday you're gonna run the show, and
No,
I'm just
I'm
gonna
not.
be color commentary.
No, I'm not.
Henri Squaw says, I did come in and comment earlier, but I guess it deleted when I left.
What the heck?
Well, I did say hello when you commented. Time to Sell Collectibles. eBay notified me they were sending me a $100 gift card for attending Open 25 vertically. Or you mean virtually? But maybe you were vertical
I hope
while
not.
this is going on. So maybe they detected that. Gail says, been a good week here in Nebraska.
Good.
Duncan in Australia says, not first. Great sales were cicadas, were quiet, hit the like for free returns and INATs. Yeah. So go to his channel, hit his like button. Flipping from the trailers with us.
Hello,
Nice to see
hello.
you. And David Pentland says, it's not a Scottish bank holiday. We still be fighting for our freedom.
Oh.
Brenda, happy Friday to everyone. The boys
Hello.
go back to school Wednesday. I love, but I need the break.
I hear ya.
So Archie says, even if eBay was all fluff, are we really that bad off?
Whoa.
I mean,
that Archie said that?
I know. It's like,
What the heck?
he's like, was not like on board with eBay. I think he was on board with District and whatnot, but he's starting to get on board with eBay. That's awesome. And, you know, if you're an eBay seller, you're hopeful that these things will happen. And not only these things, but other things will come down the line. If we all shake our phones on the app enough and report, because they have a feature, if you shake your phone, it'll bring up a little screen saying, oh, would you like to send feedback? Not like, are you okay? You just got into a car accident. But would you like to send feedback about your experience with eBay? If enough of us send the same concern about one feature, then maybe they'll pay attention and make that change as well. Duncan says, maybe Jenna's a date. She's all dressed up.
Nope, no date.
JK says, OMG, your wife's face when you said our favorite place, Puerto Rico, LOL. Look, I'm sure it's a nice place to visit,
Yeah.
but you don't want to ship there. I'll just say it. You don't want to ship there.
We send a lot of stuff to Puerto Rico.
Duncan says, too many orders.
You can do it!
Too hard to do it.
You can do it, Dunk. You can do it.
JK says, how has August treated you sales-wise? Status quo, above average, below average? I can tell you for us, August has been kind of I guess okay.
Meh.
It says that we're ahead. If we look at my numbers here real quick, like yesterday, 264. Nah. Today, 237. Something's fallen off here. My numbers have been all over the place and not so great. We're still up 42% over the last 31 days, but $19,000. But we were over the 20,000 mark just about a week ago, and it's kind of fallen off a little bit for us. So sales are okay, but it's also to the fact it just proves that if you're not listing constantly, and I didn't say daily, but if you're not listing constantly, adding more inventory constantly in your account, eBay is going to, turn on you a little bit. So make sure you're in your account and getting the things done as often as you can. Gargoyles Den Diecast is exactly right. That's why I said seller's help is a joke. I missed some. Queen Bees, Arizona says,
Hello,
hey, nice to see you, Queen
hi,
Bee.
nice to see you again.
We got Joe Samard thanking Pitco for the membership.
Joe.
Gargoyle says customer service agent went as far as to threaten to suspend or close my account over me asking for info on a feedback.
Oh no.
Now look, I don't get mad or upset. I might get upset inside, but I don't cuss out I'm not saying that's what you did here, but there's levels of things that can be done that can, I guess, take it to that level.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe you're calling them incompetent or whatever. But we all know that a lot of these reps have no competence level, and I blame that on training. These could be the nicest people in the world, but if eBay is not allowing them to, it's like you're only allowed to look here. But what's over here in eBay policy, you're not allowed to look at or talk to the customer about. So don't you dare. You focus here on hello, on have a good day, and I don't know. Those are the three things that you need to be telling these people when they call. It's kind of what it feels like. Duncan says, I was on hold with eBay Music 3 hours and fell asleep.
Did
Yes.
you really?
Well, I mean, it's enough to do something to you.
Well, I understand.
I am
but
convinced that these...
Why were you on the phone with eBay for 3 hours?
I'm convinced that these call centers have chosen, not just eBay, they choose the worst hold music to get you to go away.
To hang up
Right.
the phone. We've been saying that for many years.
Yes. And so...
Because Amtrak was just as guilty.
No, they played music, though.
In our call center.
No. They played music for the customer because there's been a couple times when I was actually talking to a customer and I put them on hold. And they said, can you put me back on hold? I really enjoyed that song.
I've had that happen too, but they were old and...
But it wasn't just the same drab, kill
yeah.
yourself music. But I can't say that.
Don't say that.
I don't want to get taken off of YouTube. Grams and Pops, we got Corey says, good to see you back, Jenna.
Well, thank you. I was only gone because this guy was supposed to take the day off. He doesn't know how to stop, you guys. I literally had to get royally pissed off at him to make him not do a regular live. He ended up doing it anyway.
She was asleep.
I was asleep taking a nap, which is what he was supposed to be doing. And I find out that he did a live, and I was not.
And I made it. I'm here. Perfect. Gargoyles Den Diecast says, I tried asking and was told no repeatedly. That's when an agent threatened my account. And at that point, if I didn't say anything wrong, I would have said, number one, let me speak to your supervisor.
Yep.
I want to know your name. And it better not change from Bob to, I don't know. What's the name? Sebastian. Okay. It's Bob. So don't change it now that I'm asking for your supervisor. Get someone on the line and say, look, not only do I want to complain about that interaction, this is my situation. And, at that point, if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it if they get a supervisor. Yeah. But a front-facing rep shouldn't talk to you like that.
They don't get to threaten you with your account. They just don't. That just chaps my hide.
Archie, I don't lecture you, man. I give you the facts. It's just not lecturing. David says, I'm lucky I don't have to call those eBay folks much. Yeah. I don't really do it a whole lot. I used to do it all the time. It was fun for me because I'd have a problem and I would call eBay to get it resolved. A lot of times they have, like with the feedback thing, there's tools now but now that they have all those tools, we don't have to call. But back then, it was actually fun to call.
Ooh. Keith is tattling on you.
The Gargoyles Den Diecast, my first time calling for their help in 8 years and 100% seller rating.
Nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't have spent another moment with that agent on the phone. The Crazy's Life is with us. Nice to see you. It's 23:17 in Scotland.
Well, it was.
It's 23:55 in Scotland right now, I'm sure. AI Reseller Nerd. Hey, what's up, all? Ophthalmometrist. Yes. Biscuit says John needs to see a pronunciologist.
Yeah.
I think I said it right. Ophthalmologist?
Ophthalmologist. It's just a really ridiculous
David
word.
Pentland says, I want a membership. I'm too tight to subscribe.
Oh, no.
Well, we are going...
Loosen up, David. Loosen up.
We didn't get a chance to do the members this last week because of all the stuff I was going through. But I've got some fun stuff planned. I really want to dive into like eBay's technology and see how it works, if it works, how we can make it work. Upstate Picker says healthcare is brutal.
Oh.
We need a live discussion of health insurance options for resellers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is honestly the worst. And I tried to do so much research before we ended up choosing one, and it turns out we chose all wrong.
Because of our side business that we've had for the last year and a half-ish, we made more last year than we did the year before. And so this year, when it comes time to enroll, based on the taxes, it's going to put us up in a higher, like we got to pay more for the same crap. I'm going uninsured this next year. I'd rather be a cash payer than have to deal with it. Queen Bee says the AI doesn't even try to answer questions, maybe because of my niche. Interesting. Well, the thing is, the AI, remember, eBay's AI is only utilizing information within eBay. So it's going to look, if you have a question about your listing, it's going to look at your item specifics. Oh, I got a sale.
You got a sale.
Holy gee, I got a sale. It's going to look at your item specifics. It's going to look at your title. It's going to look at your item description. It's going to try to find the answer there and then answer the buyer's question. If you don't have that filled out completely, then it's not going to have a whole lot of information regardless of where you sell. You lose on the winner, says Jenna. You're not wrong. I've worked in the healthcare field for many years and can't say I disagree. The entire business is corrupt as F.
Yes, and the more and more that we dive into it, the more and more I see a bunch of corruption and lies and
Queen Bees Arizona says my husband works for Red Bull. They're putting AI tattletales in their work trucks.
Yes, my brother-in-law works for a very big commercial air conditioning company in California, and they started doing that already. And it's been going on for probably about a year now, and it's kind of crazy.
John D says, last show I shared with you about my $4,500 sale. It went through eBay authentication just fine, but the buyer was never home for delivery temp 1, 2, and 3 by FedEx. He said, just leave it on the porch.
No!
But you can't do that with a $4,500 item. What happens since it was authenticated, but he never was home? Will they force a return and charge me for shipping? My answer would be no, because see, here's what happens. Your responsibility as a seller is to send it to the authentication center. Yeah. Authentication gets it. I don't know if it's shoes or purse. They're looking through it. They're checking it out. Okay, and then they rebox it. Once they say this is good, they rebox it and send you a message saying, okay, all's good. Went through the authentication process, and then they ship it to the buyer. So now this is between the buyer and eBay. It's a lot like eBay's international shipping program, where you just ship it to the facility in Illinois. Mm-hmm. eBay gets it. They determine if it's packed well enough for that shipment to Zimbabwe, and then they put their own label on it and ship it out, right? So that is no longer your problem. Return on, and that's why once it gets through authentication, there is no return for the buyer. It's been authenticated. So that's on the buyer, and they're going to have to work that out with eBay and their credit card company if it comes down to it. And I would argue that. I don't think it's going to come back to you if you get notification, because go to the email that was sent to you once it was approved for authentication, and that should tell you that everything's clear and you're good. Duncan says, Keith, how many beers are you at? Remember, you have to drink 65, then list items. Wow.
65, that's a lot.
You drink 65 beers and then start listing, you might be at eBay AI level. And there's something I wanted to go over as well. Well, let's get to it. Since we're talking about AI, or I just mentioned AI, I think a lot of you guys don't want to deal with AI, but let's talk about Liz Morton and the excellent work that she does over at Value Added Resource. Here's an article that she came out with, Smarter Selling or Silent Summaries. eBay AI raises transparency concerns. So sellers who attended eBay Open 2025 say, if there's one message they took away from the annual conference, it was this: eBay is all in on AI and sellers better get on board. I've been saying that for the longest time. A lot of people are like, I'm tired of hearing about AI. Get used to it. It's going to be common. It's going to be as common as talking about looking at your app. That's likely not a surprise for anyone who's been paying attention over the last year, but the focus was almost exclusively on how the company is creating AI tools to make selling easier and more efficient, while practically ignoring ways which eBay uses AI to transform eBay seller provided information and content to present to buyers. Presentations from eBay personnel extolled the virtues of image-based magical listing in the app experience, or highlighted the new AI answers for messages functionality that just rolled out. Some sellers have been skeptical about the usefulness of these features. eBay is increasingly placing AI between buyers and sellers in various other ways as well. And there's product research, shop to look, explore, searching, and AI messages. Beyond that, some of the most troubling uses of eBay AI have been features which use the technology to fundamentally alter seller-provided content, serving up sometimes dubious AI-generated information. So, for example, last year, sellers spotted a test which inserted AI-generated FAQs directly into search results, pushing some listings further down in visibility on the page. So this example shows the potential perils of an item not described claim that may be resulting from eBay's user of AI, as nothing in the seller's actual title, description, or item specifics mentioned anything about 25 racing decal grab bag vintage. The AI just completely made that part up. So apparently this person bought a vintage estate sale barn find 50s fishing tackle toolbox. Okay, nice old tackle box. And in the item description, eBay put 25 racing decal grab bag vintage. Now, somebody's reasonable.
Where did they get racing from?
This is the thing. You've got to be checking your item description if you're having AI do this. Okay.
Yeah.
So more information from eBay. 25 racing decal grab bag vintage.
Nothing is ever going to be perfect except your own writing.
And you get it really fluffy, summarized with AI. I've seen it. I've seen AI try to fluff up. I was trying to go in and list just from the app and taking photos and then, piggybacking off of a listing and trying to do everything within the app. That means the item description, I'm generating an AI item description. And it's ridiculous. It's like, okay, in the item specifics, I have it was made in China. So made with quality items and made in China, so you can be, confident about the item. Like, that doesn't spark confidence in me at all. It's just really ridiculous how it takes the item specifics and it tries to make it into something that it's not. Just give me a plain item description already. And the thing is, what separates this on eBay from like doing it through ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini, when you're telling it to generate an item description, you can say, look, please do not make it fluffy. Please do not mention where it was made. Please do not mention my return policy. Please do not mention item condition. Tell it one time for all the listings you're going to do after that. It'll follow that. But on eBay, there is no place to put that kind of command. Corey says, hold up, we're supposed to keep track of what we spend too? Crap. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
You could continue buying this item and maybe it sells for you, and that you buy an item and it sells, that shouldn't be the measurement of this is something I want to keep buying again. You need to look at, okay, it's sold. How much did you make? Because that's what we're doing this for. Did you make enough to make it worth your while? Is there enough meat on the bone or juice in the squeeze to buy that $5 item? I don't care how fast you're flipping it. If you're only selling it for $15 plus shipping, and after eBay gets their hands on it, and after you recoup that $5, is that $8 left over worth your time? Is it worth the squeeze? Is it worth the fact that you put $5 into it and not $1? So you have to, everyone's got to make that determination for themselves. And the goal for every seller should be, okay, I made that mistake before, $5 into 15. Maybe I need to find a way to get a $2 item into 15 to make it worth more while. But if you don't have that data, that cost data to look at to determine if, last year we did it this way, this year we're going to try it this way, you're not going to be able to know. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I like to think that a lot of the things that we sell have a lot of meat on the bone for the offers and all the things that we allow with our sales. But I would like to see the data for myself so that the next time I'm sourcing that item, I can say, yeah, we got a lot of inventory right now, and if I didn't have a lot of inventory, I probably would just buy it because we want to keep inventory coming in. But because we have a lot in the storage unit, let's just not buy that now because according to the numbers, I didn't make as much as I would have liked to make on that. And it's data that I think all resellers should actually have. We got Bearded Picker. What? I thought he forgot about this channel.
I told you it's something sparked the old boys and they came on through.
Time to Sell Collectibles says, remember, food is deductible while out shopping. Now, I'm not a CPA, but that could be. I do believe it's like when you're traveling out and about but we got a super chat from David I didn't see.
David,
Thank you, David.
See that one either.
Appreciate you for that. Darn it. Thank you for the super chat.
Wait, and
he became a member, David.
Welcome.
See, you're not too cheap to be a member.
Aww.
And by being a member, it unlocks all the lives that we've done already. I think there's a lot of good information to go back and look at for some of the lives that we've done, reviewing other accounts. But we do one, maybe twice a month, where we do a roundtable live just for members. And
Beard,
we go in.
shut your mouth.
We go in and we just try to make our stores better by looking at what others are doing. And so join us. We'll probably have one on. You're flying out on Wednesday morning, right?
I leave Wednesday morning.
So because of that, we're going to do something Wednesday evening because I'm going to be here by myself and I need someone to talk to. Beard says, chaos is alive and well. Welcome to the jungle. Beard says, such language. Have I entered the Twilight Zone? I think you're talking about bullshit when he came on board.
Bullshit.
Henri Squaw says, when is the spot for costs going into effect? I think that's, they said this fall. So October? Look for it this October.
As soon as the snow hits the ground.
Pico says, Jenna's letting go the S words. There goes the monetization. No, it's actually within the first 30 minutes. So my diatribe was long enough, I think, that it got past that. Richard Spanuski says, Jenna, very true about healthcare. My daughter dreamed of being a doctor her entire life. The closer she got, the more it became a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's horrible because we do need good people in healthcare, right? We don't need people who are just like, my dad wanted me to be a doctor. This is what he spent on. I really don't want to be a doctor. But good on her for wanting to be a doctor. That's a good profession.
Well, hopefully she ended up with something that makes her happy.
Grams and Pops. Corey says, whatever's in that Bubble Boy cup has Jenna wound up today. Did you fall off the wagon?
No.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
No. You would know.
Amazon Seller 99. Actually, eBay probably does want to know what the average COGS is and average profit made by its sellers. They may not care about individual sellers, but it is the aggregate data that would be valuable. But not to the point where they're going to... See, I think there's a lot of people out there that really feel like eBay is the devil. And they may have treated us that way over the years, but he's just practicing his yapper over there. Our dogs are barking. They're in their cage, but
It's just Kylo. For no reason.
He just wants to bark and hear himself be froggy. I really think, though, that we tend to think that eBay is like Big Brother. They're wanting this information. They just want all the data, and maybe they could use the data for their own, their own reporting, and like, okay, our buyers are making usually this much margin. I don't know. But just
that is just
to think though
too
that
much.
they're going to use that against us, I think is wrong. I really think it's a benefit. I think it's a benefit that a lot of people have been asking for. It is one idea that I did come up with, like with the automated AI responses. I said, look, eBay, why not just put a spot? And I get a lot of a lot of pushback from people saying, I don't want eBay to know. But it's optional. You don't have to use it. Don't use it if you don't want to. But those of us who do want to use it,
it would sure make my life a lot easier doing it, doing the accounting in my reseller genie.
Yeah, because that's the only thing you have to do is put in the
Otherwise,
the dollar
everything is done for you. So I have to go in every single.
Data is one of the most valuable assets the companies own. But see, I want to focus on my business, right? We are using eBay's platform. So we are, right now, you can put your photos on the platform. They don't belong to you anymore. You have no real rights on the platform because you're using eBay's platform. Now, like I said, that cost slot that they're going to put in there is optional. You don't have to use it. If you don't trust what they're going to do with it, by all means, don't use it. But there's people like me that know, look, I don't care. eBay sees everything that I have. Yeah. I don't even care. I have nothing to hide. I don't care. I want to know. It's going to save me a lot of time putting in the data. And it's going to allow me to get more out of the information that eBay gives me. It means nothing to me right now when they show me my net. It means nothing to me.
So those numbers that we normally show you, every time we go live, those are not real numbers because they're missing the key, the base of where we started with that item. You make money on the sale of buying that item first, and it doesn't transcribe into eBay's or all of their, analyzing of all these things, but yet that is the key place that we make our money. And so it's very important for tracking all types of different things within our business. So, I mean, if we're not making money on an item, I would like to know to not pick that up again.
Make David a mod if you can. We're going to make you a mod, David. Okay. But, you get perks. Go back and look at all the members' videos that we put out. There's quite a few of them, but we're going to be putting out more. Here's the thing. This is my question to you guys. And this is something maybe I'll do a Q&A on or a poll on if I can get this thing right. But the question is, how many of you, let me get this on here so I can type it in. Do you consider what you paid for the item before you make an offer to a watcher or accept an offer from a buyer? So, an item before you accept an offer or make an offer. So I want to know, do you guys, I'm going to start that poll. It started right now in the chat. So I want to know, do you consider what you paid for an item before you accept an offer or make an offer? Now, if you have that information readily available to you in your listing, you don't have to go back and go, that shirt, I know I've had it for about 6 months. What did I buy it for? Did I pay $5? The guy's offering me 10. Maybe that's not worth it, but if I paid 2, I could still make a little profit. Because the name of the game is making a profit. And you're not always going to make what you want to when you first buy it. I think that's the reality a lot of resellers need to understand. I bought this at 5 thinking that the comps were 50, but in reality, I haven't sold this in 5 months and I got a guy offer me 30. And these are all decisions we have to make in our internal SOP, because I know a lot of resellers don't have a written SOP. I don't. I have it all internal. This is my process. This is how I handle this situation. This is how I handle this situation. If I get an offer that's not quite where I want, maybe I wanted 40, not 30, did I just list it last night? Because if I just listed it last night, they're offering me 30 on an item that's 50, I'm probably not going to take it. So these are all things that revolve around one thing. How much did I even spend on it? Now, of course, I'm looking at recency too, but what am I into the item for before I accept such an offer? Beard says, David, John will compose you a love letter tonight. That's your perk. Look forward to your email. Yes.
No, nobody gets love letters.
Upstate Picker says, sourcing looks rough in the grotto.
Yes.
How would you like to live in Saipan and have to
mean,
ship to the U.S.?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you picking shells out of the ocean?
Seashells.
Lone Wolf Reseller says Guam is U.S. territory.
Yes, it
I
sure
think
is.
Saipan is too, or a protectorate they call it.
A protectorate.
In it to flip it for INR, you have to use eBay labels. I wonder why they snuck that nugget in there. That was never there before. Well, of course, that was never a requirement before. Anytime that they reimbursed us, that was never, well, did you buy the label from eBay, or did you buy it from Pirate Ship? Beard says, John won't skip comments as like saying a Democrat won't lie. Well, we do, Beard, want you to get some of these folks over to your live. That forces me to have to skip to get on time so I can end before you begin.
Well, you better.
So, just so you guys know, Bearded Picker, you see the channel right here, he's going to be going live tonight in about 45 minutes from now. So make sure that when we're done here, and we'll definitely end before he begins, make sure you move the show over there and go and hang out. Now the content's going to be a little different. Not going to be the same format. You might comment, you might not get read. That is the ultimate skip fest over there. You only, in fact, your comment won't get read out loud. It'll only be read internally, and you'll get an answer to that comment maybe when you're not expecting it. But, I mean, we all do things a little differently. David says, John, will you stop for a breath soon and remember we are here? Okay, we can continue. Beard says, note to self, no more talking to John. He steals my show ideas. I did not steal that idea.
Did you steal an idea?
I certainly did not. And I have an idea that no one's going to steal. That's going to be...
you better not tell it.
I'm not going to tell it. Everyone else has fall asleep. I hope that just covering basic
Beard
stuff
says,
doesn't
I'll
put
go
you guys to
live
sleep.
right now, damn it.
Beard says, I don't watch the show for a couple weeks, and y'all let him go on the rant for over 30 minutes. What the F is supposed to be controlling John tonight?
Somebody let him loose. He needs to get...
It's time for elevator music to play. Uh-oh.
No.
We don't want that.
That's...
Sorry, I'm not putting you guys through that.
That's awful.
Time to sell collectibles. I will be back in the U.S. when he is done. You guys are so wrong. Beard says, we will be selling Christmas presents before he gets done. Well, I think we've been selling Christmas presents all year long. It's not just a Christmas thing. And it to flip it says, I have no interest in going back to eBay labels. They're terrible to work with if there's an issue. Pirate Ship is great. If you have a lot of item not received requests, I mean, look, here's the thing. Use Pirate Ship on your first item not received request. So let's see if they back you. I mean, there's got to be a test case for this. When they see the tracking number in the listing or in the sale, is there a designator that says where you bought it? It's just going to show the tracking number. So maybe they're saying that to get you to buy eBay labels when there's really nothing in place that's going to help them to see if you bought it from them or Pirate Ship. So very curious on how this is all going to work out. Maybe we'll do a show and ask people afterwards if you had an item not received and you sell on get your labels on Pirate Ship, did they take care of you? Let's see. Beard says, I guess that means he wants me to call him then. Yeah, on the text. Started 35 minutes behind. He has to skip like a 6-year-old on a playground. Notice I'm not skipping all your comments. But we have Sunny that we said hi to about a half an hour ago, right?
Hi, Sunny.
Nice to see you, Sunny. Actually, yeah, we're about a half an hour behind.
Oh, Sunny, when are you going to be? Well, I hope he's still here. When are you going to be at the Fantastic again? Because I want to go visit.
AI Resell Nerd. Speaking of AI, I just created the best reseller app. Please give me any feedback on how to improve it. Yeah, check him out. I don't know anything about it. Sunny says, well, he's talking to Pitco, so we'll skip that. Beard says, I already listened to John an hour this week. I don't have time to sit around and listen to him for another hour. We love you too. Hey, Jonathan Hustle Man says, what's up, Sunny? Nice to see you, buddy.
What's up? I guess you made it back to AZ all right.
I'm sure he did. Corey says, John, where's my
Sunny's
damn
still here.
alternator? My car is still on blocks over here. Yeah. Awesome to see you guys, though. That's awesome.
Funny.
Beard says, that's why I can't watch this show. Primo and Spam get one, and I get left out as usual. I'm so sad. Oh, get one.
The pins.
It's based on you're watching this show or watching this channel too, and you don't. It just shows you don't watch the channel. You gotta watch my content. What is it about my content that just turns you off to where you don't want to watch it? I'm up for feedback, and I'm glad. No matter what it is, I'm a grown up. I can handle it. Biscuit Butt says, Scott, that's how I feel out you and Josh. Now I'm a third fiddle. Feel probably about you and Josh. I'm third fiddle. Let me tell you guys a little secret. You guys ready for a secret?
I'm nervous. What kind of new secret is this?
I had asked Archie one point many years ago when I was forming the Profit. Actually, at the time, it was the eBay Power Hour. I had asked Archie, hey, do you want to be on this podcast? And he said, nope, I don't want to be on this podcast. And he had his own reasons for it, but he shouldn't feel that way because I did offer him that. Out of curiosity. Beard says, Archie, that would make you fourth. You can't even count. Too much time with your tumblers. Too much time with your tumblers. You know, the tumblers on TikTok? I can't believe, Archie,
Hold on, I'm so confused.
What? What are you confused about?
Archie, that would make you.
He said, I feel like I'm out.
Oh.
But Archie did a TikTok.
Okay.
Archie did a TikTok on tumblers, and he was explaining how to use these. You suck.
You just suck.
You just suck. Or was he telling his viewers that they suck? I don't know. But I learned how to use my Tumblr because of it. Jovial says, if y'all don't know, our Sonny has joined the Nurse Flipper podcast every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to watch, as it is a great informative show about e-commerce, reselling, and such.
Yes, I think that is a much better fit for you, Sonny.
Yes, so go check out the Nurse Flipper Reselling Island podcast, and Sonny will be on there.
There's no island about
There's no
that.
island? It's just the Nurse Flipper podcast? Sorry. Sorry, Sonny, I got to give you a lot of help. Let's see.
Moving on.
Ping says, I watched the live eBay Open stream all 3 days and answered the survey. Hope I'm one of the 4,000 to get that gift card. So they only give you to 4,000.
I hope you get it too.
Yeah. Kelly, I got to tell you, funny to hear a $100 gift card watches online. John says it wasn't worth doing that. Wonder how many of us could have gotten the gift card had we just watched.
Well, I do believe you have free choice.
I mean,
I didn't do whatever you want.
If you are going to go to eBay Open or watch the content because you look at it as a sweepstakes, that's the wrong reason to go. If you go and you happen to be rewarded just by happenstance, then it's a bonus. Yeah. But certainly, everyone's got their own. If I'm the one telling you not to go because you're not going to get anything out of it physically, I have no way of knowing that. Gargoyles Den Diecast depends on the size of the seller, it seems. For the money?
Money? No, I don't think that had anything to do with anything.
Samantha Hunter, okay, I'm back. I had to step away for a while. I did not mean to ignore anyone.
Well, hello, Samantha.
Thank you for being here. I didn't know that you had stepped away, but thank you for hopping in the chat.
Did you skip her?
I may have, because I'm skipped to my loo. You know that, but that's what I do when we get to about 4:20 and we want to get caught up. But I'm still about 30 minutes behind. David Penless says, the chat slowed. Anyone knows he won't get down here. I did. I did. So you guys owe me an apology. John, you still have 2 tasks to finish setting up your store. Can you get them done? It's bugging my OCD.
It drives me crazy too, Keith. I've actually gone on to his account on my computer trying to figure out what's missing. And I think what it's asking for is it wants us to make a video and put a video within our profile on his other store. That's not a suggestion on the other store, so it's just an annoyance at this point.
So Swamp Picker says they're reading a script. If they get off it, they can get in trouble. It's pretty good how I read that. That's not how you spelt it. But that's an eBay training issue. That's a management issue, and I don't blame that on the reps at all. They are told to be extra nice and to deal with it the best they can, and to avoid transferring or escalating calls. Gargoyle's Den says that was when I requested a manager. Yes, get that manager on the phone because they have the power to do something, whereas sellers, I mean the frontline reps don't. Pat Rose, nice to see you, Pat Rose. My mother had a phone that sounded like an ice cream truck when she put the telemarketers on hold. I need that phone.
Oh my God, that's great.
I was just asking Jenna the other day. I said, when was the last time you heard an ice cream truck roll through your neighborhood?
It's been a long
I mean, I
time.
miss that. It would annoy me. Right, I'm trying to watch something on TV or whatever it was, and they get close to the house, and it's like, damn, turn that shit down. Or they're parked outside, and all the kids congregate out there, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to wait for this damn truck to move on, because I never went out and bought their ice cream. But it's nostalgic, right? You remember that ice cream man that would roll through your neighborhood like every 2 hours.
We actually did have an ice cream man up in the other house that we lived out here in Centennial.
It was a
sold Kona ices.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was different.
It was expensive.
We tried it one time, but it's not the same.
I remember it was we were having a monsoon and it was pouring rain, but him and Tyler had to go get the ices from the
because it was like something different, and it's nostalgic. Like, ooh, this is not an ice cream truck, but it's just as close.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tactical Z is with us. Nice to see you, Tactical Z.
And Tommy Z.
Where's Tommy Z? Oh,
He's
here.
right
Hello
here.
to the most excellent reselling couple in America. Well, thank you.
Aw, we think
Appreciate
you're pretty
that.
special too.
Corey says John does too. It's called Rub Some Dirt on It plan. Yes, that's the health insurance.
Yes.
Yeah, I just look. I've learned to live with it. You know, thankfully, I went to my my follow up for the procedure when you get to be 50 years old, and they said that I just got to come back in a few years and everything's right. So I'm not dying tomorrow because of it. So that's good, right?
He tried to pull one over on me when he came back from the
She
doctors.
said, "How'd it go?" And I have my back turned and I'm just shaking my head. And
because he's the worst liar in the world.
I didn't lie.
He can't even like try to fake me out. It just doesn't work. And he's like leaning over and like shaking his head. I'm like, you're such a liar. I'll never even believe you when something, you know, if anything ever does happen.
Then Now Collectible says, just busy changing my business policy as of Monday. No more Canada Post labels on eBay. The U.S. have to switch to UPS for 50% to 100% more.
Wow.
It's getting dicey for Canadian resellers. Try to hold on.
Man. I don't know what Canada's doing up there, but they're really just making life miserable for everybody up there.
Well, it's just the relationship between Canada and the U.S. government. But
it's awful.
Don't want to get down that road because I don't know enough to. I don't have enough information to make an educated discussion about that. So let's see what Mandy says. They should have had a signature required for any order over $750, so their fault.
Absolutely.
But eBay would have done that, right?
Yeah.
Because look again, eBay provides a label. If it's a guarantee, authenticity guarantee item, you have to ship it into their center. Mm-hmm. So whether it's tennis shoes, you ship it to that city, or if it's purses, you ship it here. I think Vegas has one for sneakers. Mm-hmm. That label is generated and given to you by eBay, and I believe it's a FedEx label for most of these items. You did your part by shipping it to that location. You don't have to do anything with the label. I would assume that eBay probably would have signature required. That's why it was a second, third, and fourth time where they just didn't leave the package at the door. So I think that I'm pretty sure that you're fine with that happening the way it did. Let's see. In it to flip it. So seriously, regarding eBay AI, all we have to do is look at eBay's AI customer service. Can it get any worse? Oh, are you talking about the chatbot? Look,
no, I think they're talking about the phone.
Well,
reps.
that's not an AI rep. That's just scripted.
Oh,
but if you're looking at the chatbot,
I didn't see the AI.
You go into contact us, and the only thing it gives you is a chatbot, and you have to ask it. Tell it what you're asking for. I tell it what I'm asking for, and then I immediately say, after it responds, have somebody call me, and usually it'll give me the option to get a call back.
Paul Rose.
Paul Rose, nice to see you, Paul.
How are you doing?
Mike G says, been a rough sales day so far today. Was at $57, but I responded to a low offer of $300 and offer $333. Accepted.
Yay!
That's it. There you go. Get a little bit more. Get a little bit more than just the low ball that they offer you.
That's what we like.
Mandy says it's supposed to be showing the cogs when offers come in, and at some point in the future that could be helpful too. Yeah, because right now what I do is I get an offer from somebody, and I click on it, and I'm like, I'm not sure what I paid for this. So, oh, that dog. So I go in and let me shut the door. I go in and I have to go open another tab just to see what I paid for that thing. Because I keep my cost of goods in my SKU. Yeah. And it's not easily accessible.
Thank God you do, though, because it makes life easier for when I'm doing.
Tess, cooks for you. Good evening. 70 degrees of 707 here in Central PA. Hey, Josh and Jenna. Okay. I'm chopped liver.
It's fine.
I know.
It's fine.
I'm just giving you a hard
Hello,
time.
Tess.
Hi, Tess.
78. I would love 78.
Pico says the more money we make, the more tax man takes. Anything over 1,500 pounds sold in a year is reported to HMRC as the tax man. So yeah. Corey says, Scott, he's never gonna make it at this far, so I'll chat with you instead. See, I made it this far. You guys give me so little credit. Let's see. Mike G says, followed up with $30 sales within a minute. Seller engaged in eBay notices. Just saying now I'll hit the thumbs up for additional sales.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, guys. Again, I don't know how it works, but if you hit that like button, you're going to get a sale in the next 24 hours. It works. Look, Todd's got his. Enforcer44 says, don't enter cost of goods into eBay. That's just one more data point they'll use to jack up fees again. So again, that is up to you. This is the great thing. It's not required. It's not going to give you an error message when you go to run your listing if you don't have that in there. I myself, it's going to save me some work. I'm not caught up into all that because ultimately, look, eBay knows that there's a line. Now, they're trying to cross it, like Beard reported. I saw it the other night. They wanted on an auto part, I think it was an AC compressor. It's summertime. People want their air conditioning to work. They are suggesting a 25% promoted listing fee. 25%. That is just plus the 13% you're already paying just for your final value fees. That's excessive, and everyone should draw their line. Now, if eBay was to use this data to say, okay, these sellers are making too much money, we need to get more of that money by pressing up the promoted listing level. Well, then to me, it's like, why are you following that anyway? Why are you following what eBay's suggesting that you do? You should have an idea. Does 5% work? Does 7% work? Does 10% work? And draw a line. For me, it's 10%. I don't go over 10%, and our sales are just fine. Paul Rose says, Kylo, you really are a big Star Wars fan, John. Yes, my other dog's name is Chewie. So here's the poll. Do you consider what you paid for an item before you accept an offer or make an offer? We have 91% of you with 47 votes in. 91% of you says that you consider what you paid for that item before you take an offer. Yep. So that makes sense.
Can you end it?
We'll end that poll because Jenna doesn't like polls. Shadow House Collectibles. Glad to be able to join a live. I usually only get to see it after. This is a treat.
Oh, well, welcome into the live.
It's a treat that you're here. I love seeing new faces and try to make it more often. That's awesome that you're here. I am trying to find my spot here. I'm trying to get back to where I was. Kelly says, I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with FAA on this one. If you honestly think eBay won't use your COG data to their advantage, then you drank too much of the eBay Kool-Aid. If eBay absolutely had to have that information, they would find a way to make it a requirement. Look, this is a suggestion that I had a while ago, that I want to be able to have a dedicated place so that my reseller genie or whatever software you use can take that data point and plug that into my eBay fees and what I pay for my labels. It's all together. I don't have to do any. She's got to do the typing in of thousands of items. She has to go into each one to find out in the SKU what the cost of goods are. It's going to save us a lot of work. Again, the key word is it's optional. So you don't have to agree with me. I mean, look, this has nothing to do with Kool-Aid. This has everything to do with what I suggested. If you watch this channel long enough, you know that I suggested auto AI responses. You know, it's not on the level that I'd like it to be, but it's better than nothing. And the option to put my cost of goods in the listing. Now, I don't know if they got it from this channel, but I can tell you, anybody that's watched this show long enough can vouch for the fact that I wanted that, and has nothing to do with eBay Kool-Aid. Yeah. They stole my idea. Remember that. Mike G says, eBay already knows what my cogs are because I source 90% on their platform. Also, eBay already knows many items are bought by most sellers for $0 to $20, also known as thrifting and liquidation. Mm-hmm. I just, look, if eBay wants to raise fees, they'll raise them. And if they raise them too high, then it's going to drive people away from the platform. So,
and do you think that they're ever going to tell you why they're raising the fees? In all honesty, because of your cogs.
And look, if you want to talk about Kool-Aid, don't drink the eBay Kool-Aid in what they suggest. Do not use dynamic promoted listings, guys. I've been telling you guys this. It is a lazy way to use promoted listings that's going to cost you too much money. And if you're using dynamic with a cap, maybe put them outside or something. If you're using dynamic promoted listings with the cap of 10%, then you might as well just set your items at 10%, because most items are over 8 to 10% anyway. So why not just set a flat rate then? Because dynamic or suggested promoted listing rates in everyone's listing, eBay's trying to suggest, they're trying to milk more money out of you. And if you're playing that game, I think that's way worse than putting any amount of money in your listing that you're paying for the items. RD32 Rojo says, it's for their advantage, not ours. More info so they know how to increase fees. Don't use it. Don't use it. Me, I will use it. And I don't think that it's going to be used. They're already increasing fees. That's my point. There is no option to put any dollar amount other than in your SKU if you want to. eBay can check out your SKUs. How many sellers use the SKU to put how much they paid for an item? They're already pushing the price of promoted fees up. You don't have to accept it, but that's what they're doing. They don't need you to put any cogs in your listing to say, oh, you know what? Maybe we should up the promoted listings. They're already doing that. If you don't think that's true, then you're missing it. You're not looking at the 25% they just tried to pass off on Beard and myself yesterday. Paul Rose says, eBay doesn't need to know the minutia of your dealings. That's not their job. I agree with that. Corey says, you forgot maybe depends on how much shelf space it takes up and how long I've had it. That's also another thing that you should consider when you're taking an offer. That's right. Enforcer 44 agrees with Kelly. eBay has no reason to know cogs other than to use it to their advantage. So I have to weigh this. My fear of eBay using that information against me, or the benefit of being able to have that imported into software that I use, like my Reseller Genie, or even into eBay's own numbers. For me, I want a clear picture as to what I'm doing. I don't have to run spreadsheets now. It's going to show me how much I'm making. It's going to be able to drill down to what I'm making. Like, let's say I do a search on this kind of an item. I'm going to be able to run reports that's going to show me if I'm making money on that. Craig says, I only take offers on items I have promoted. That's interesting. David says, I consider how long I've had it. Might take a hit on it if it's been around for a while. I think that's a good idea. You know, you think you bought a pretty decent item and it turns out it's a dud. It's not getting sold fast enough. If you are in a situation like me where you have limited space in your garage, you don't have a warehouse to where you can just allow it to sit and accumulate, you don't have a big basement, well, then you have to take that and put that into the equation. Tess says, yes, sometimes flow of money in real estate is more important. Making the sale and getting your money back and increased algorithms is sufficient. Yes, I agree with that. Are they out?
They're out.
Okay. 32 Rojo, I use offer limits so I don't get inappropriate offers. Yes, I think that's another way to do it. If you don't want to get annoyed by lowballers, to set a minimum for each item. Henri Squaw says, I put my cogs in the SKU now. I may use it. I need to see how they do it because I also want to know where I got the item from, which is also my SKU. But you can place where you bought it from in your SKU and then just have your cogs in the cogs box. Yeah. Richard says, thank you, J&J. She decided to go into the medical research field.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That is cool.
Todd says, who needs car parts in Saipan? They just paddle canoes.
That's what I was saying. Is like they don't look like it doesn't look like they have enough land to have vehicles.
Kelly says, I'm sure a lot of us put the cogs in the SKU field, but now having it in a designated field to make it easier for them to capture it. But again, to me, it's to my benefit. I don't care what. It's just there's so many things we can fear in life. There's so many things that we can worry if the eBay is going to hold against us, or how much did you pay for that label? That's why we want you to buy it on. I don't believe that's why I believe they make money every time you buy a label on eBay, so they want you to buy your labels through eBay. It's that simple. If it was boiling down to how much you spend on each transaction, they would require you to buy eBay labels. They wouldn't allow you to import labels from pirate ship because they don't know how much you paid for that label. They don't know how much you paid FedEx. They don't know how much you paid UPS directly. So I really don't think it's about that. I really think that they're listening to sellers. This is what some sellers like myself have been asking for, and that cost of goods is now in there. So, yes, Landshark, all 126 of us need to raid Scott.
Yes.
But not yet. We still got a little time. In it to flip it says, that's to Beard. AI Reseller Nerd, got to take off, but hit me up, John. I'd like for you to beta test my reseller app. Glad to be a member. Great community.
Very nice.
Well, thank you for being a member, AI Reseller Nerd, and check out the videos, and I will check your program out. I'm always interested. You Lose on the Winner says, I usually accept most offers within reason since I know my cogs are low.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, if you have a churn mentality, like I just want to collect as much as I can for this item so I can move that to another item and just keep flipping it. But there's the other side of the coin where you're like, I don't care how long this thing sells. I'm going to wait for that one unique buyer who'll pay me $50 for it, and if I get an offer for $40, I'm just going to pass it up. Or maybe I'm not even going to have offers on my listings at all. A Reseller Life, when Archie is playing golf with his sugar mama, he can't miss a hole. Hello, everyone. Oh, okay. I keep seeing Reseller Life, and I forget that it's Roman. How you doing, Roman? Nice to see you, buddy. Upstate Picker says, eBay might be onto something with the cogs. If enough people show interest, it could lead to a paid cost tracking service through eBay. Let's not give them any ideas on charging us, because I got to tell you, if they charge me to use that tool, I'm not using it. Now, maybe the worst case scenario is they build it into the, like, here's another benefit of having a store subscription, right? As a regular seller without a store, you don't have the ability to put your cogs in there if you want to use it. You have to have a store to do it. David wants to know, Beard, do we need to pay dues for your channel? No, just have a lot of alcohol at your disposal. You'll be fine. Mike G says, speaking of pirate ship, I had to use their services because eBay was trying to charge me nearly 2 times more for Ground Advantage. Wow. And then you got to weigh the pros and cons. I look, as far as the item not received thing, maybe that's just their way of getting you to use their label services. I don't know if there's any way for them to know. Once you put that tracking number in, does it display the same as an eBay USPS tracking number? Let's see, trying to get past it here. Mike says, I also won a swag bag for filling out the eBay Open survey. So you're telling me that I could have been at eBay Open. So this is where I get the frustration that Kelly is having. I could have been at eBay Open, and I could have attended eBay Open virtually on my second account, which wasn't registered for eBay Open, and I could have won prizes more than what we won.
I mean, I could have won all of those things as well.
Sonny says, thrifting is burning off calories. I think it's the way to get your steps in, right? Let's see. In it to flip it says, question, what did you learn at eBay Open that you couldn't learn from reading the info? That's a good question. That's a good question. It's more of, what did I observe? Well, okay, let me just say this. You learned, so if I would have attended virtually, right, I would not have had access to the eBay employees. They brought in specialists from all the different departments. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't have been able to sit down and have a conversation and say, look, here's a question I have. Primo Chemo and Spam, they're dealing with the situation. They have a great account. They've upped their listings. They've upped their revenue. And now they sold a $20,000 item they listed for $20,000 for $4,000. They took an offer on something and they got a great price, but it's much more than they're used to making. eBay now puts a red flag on their account and says they can never get paid the same anymore. They have to wait now on all sales for a payment 72 hours after that it's been shipped or been received. And so how does this happen? Why does this happen? I don't think I would have been able to ask that question on a virtual event. I have asked questions on virtual events, and I've gotten no answers. They ignore it. They find the answers they want to answer, but if you're right there in their face, they're going to be like, okay, not only am I going to give you an answer, here's my LinkedIn, take a picture of my badge, find me on LinkedIn, pass it to the person you're talking about, have them contact me. And guess what they did? They contacted Primo and Spam that Sunday. They didn't wait till Monday. That person contacted them on a Sunday immediately after the open ended, and they took care of their situation.
Yeah, that is the kind of customer service that we need throughout the entire eBay company.
And that is what you get from attending in person versus not. You get to really pick the brains of some of these eBay account reps. And I told you this about 2 weeks ago, that the real experts on eBay don't make YouTube videos. They are the account reps that have been there, done that, seen that, and had to work to get that taken care of for their sellers that they're assigned to. But that was a good question, though. Exactly, a good question. Gargoyles Diecast says, that was the agent's response to me to requesting a manager. I didn't see that. But I'm sure that it wasn't a good one. Resell Life says, Archie. Resell Rabbit says that he'll move to Vegas and live with you now. Gonna take Mike's room. Fast Eddie says, here for the free stuff. Well, right now
you get a free sale.
Yeah, you get a free sale if you hit the like button. Do. But right now it's just the nuggets and the morsels of information. That's the free stuff. We will be doing some giveaways, but I want to make sure, because that's going to be one. I think it's going to be one giveaway. I got to figure out what it's going to be. Not just the pins, but we'll let you know as soon as I get the pin from Josh. I need to hit him up and ask him if he's mailed it, because I want to get that to you guys before eBay Open is like, who cares anymore, right? Wow. It's kind of there right now.
It's already there.
Let's see. So this is great on your health news. Thank you for that. Jay Collings says, I know it sounds terrible and is uncomfortable, but I think colonoscopy should be started at 40. They say that. Mm-hmm. I gotta say, for that 30-minute window of time, I had the best sleep of my life. You know, that propofol is no joke, man. I just need to call up Conrad Murray and see if he's busy.
When he got out of the building and was being wheeled to the car, that was everything I dreamt it to be.
Jay Collins says, Canada Post USA isn't set up for tariffs yet, hence the takedown. It'll come back. Customers will need to pay for tariffs at time of purchase starting on the 29th.
Well, did you also hear that Canada has now dropped their retaliatory tariffs? So
James is just here because someone said Kool-Aid, his Ghetto Fab drink. That's right. Nothing wrong with being Ghetto Fabulous.
Kool-Aid nice. And Mad Dog 2020. Archie,
I don't know what Mad Dog 2020 is.
Oh my God, you would die.
Okay.
You would literally die.
I would literally die.
Mad Dog 2020 was one of my drinks.
Jovia says Karma's a B. I think what happened was because he stole our hit the like button and get a sale slogan. Yes. That is. You guys notice that? You guys start. See, the thing is, it only works in this channel. You hit the like button. You hit the like button. You're going to get a sale. That only works in this channel. If you try to use it on another channel, crazy stuff starts happening to you. It's called karma. Mm-hmm. Just telling you. So Resell Life. Archie hit the like button. One of my first video from 5 years ago. Thanks, Archie. At least someone's got to do it. Let's see. Try to get through the sidebar. We're getting close to being caught up. Says some of this stuff here. Let's see. Swamp Pickers had 3 colonoscopies, I think. Ooh. I don't know if I want any more in my life.
I've had 3.
It's not. I mean, look. The worst part is the day before when you're doing
horrendous.
that whole thing.
That is the worst part. I mean, everything else is fine.
Jovia says, that was the rock'em, sock'em, awesome of you, John, to take that eBay time, assist promo and primo and spam. You rock, Silver Fox.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's the least I can do because, you know, what am I going to do? Go there with like, okay, what happens if, you know, they're not going to take that seriously. I really wanted to put the powers to the test. Let's see if we can make something happen. And I think we made something happen. I don't know if they gave us an update. I think they have their account back to normal, but I'm not quite sure. But I'm glad. It made me feel good that we were able to help them out. Heather Brooks says, I know I'm joining late, but please take your dog to the vet. It's likely a growth, whether it's cancer or not. I don't know, but that is indicative of animals and people. When the voice changes, that's bad. Yeah, so we'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Thank you, Heather.
The Gargoyles Den
I'm gonna
Diecast
call.
says, ask for a manager, was told no, they're not customer service and won't talk to you. Then said he was ending the call, to which I said, I just called back. That's when he threatened my account. So this is one thing you need to know.
Wow.
Reps don't hang up. Okay. The
But
reason
you're
why
not
reps
allowed.
don't hang up, they're told not to because a customer can say, I was hung up on. Okay. So they look at the call records. It'll say caller initiated or rep initiated. They can tell who hung up on the call. That's why reps wait for you to hang up, so you can't call back and say, well, they hung up on me. No, we can see that's a lie because it shows who disconnected the call. So you could tell them, look, I know what time I called. I don't know if your name is Bob or Sebastian because you may have made that up too, but I know what time I called. They can track my call. If I pursue this, they can see where I called from and pull a report. And so go ahead and hang up on me. That's just going to be one more level of customer abuse you're going to have to fight. Maybe it was their last day on the job and they're just done with it. Who knows? But maybe it's time to call back. But I don't get off the line. I let them hang up on me because that's just one more nail in their coffin if they want to do that. But maybe, I don't know what eBay pays
I mean,
them.
they will do everything to piss you off enough to hang up for you to hang up, but they'll put you on hold. They'll, for lengthy periods of time. There are a lot of antics that these customer service people who are answering phones will try to pull, but they will get caught in every single one of them. So if you can, the more information you have when you make a call back, because that behavior is unacceptable.
Yeah, I would make note of when you called.
Yeah.
Call back or request a call back and tell the rep that first answer, say, look, I need to lodge a complaint about a representative I spoke to yesterday. I need you to put me in touch with the supervisor right now. If they want the basics, if you're calling about what you're calling about initially, maybe give that to them so they have something to present them. But that's how I would do it, and just present. I called at this time. This person by the name of Sebastian told me this and that. We're going to threaten me to hang up and delete my account. They can go back and they can review the call. Also, a lot of these calls are recorded for quality assurance, so that they can make sure that not all calls are recorded, but some calls are recorded. They can go back and see if the call was recorded. So that's what I would do.
But in this day and age now, I mean, I know we're like 6 years separated from Amtrak, but I think most calls are recorded now.
Technology's better, yeah.
Because the technology is there.
Dave's Decades, Mad Dog 2020, instant PTSD.
Oh boy, there was some times.
Kelly says, eBay reps have definitely hung up on me. I wasn't irate. They just didn't want to answer calls. Oh, yeah. They like if you give them a situation and they'll put you on hold, and then what will happen is that you'll wait with this music, and then after 5 minutes, the line goes dead. And you're like, oh, no. I know you didn't just hang up on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not saying that they don't hang up on people, but they will clearly get in a lot of trouble. At Amtrak, you could lose your job for that because that's considered customer abuse.
Yeah. And Roman says, female reps from India never hang up on me because I instantly ask them on a date. But what do the FedEx reps do? That's what I want to know. Jovial says, only called eBay a couple times and had 2 eBay reps who were very rude and hung up, disconnect.
Yeah.
But if you feel strongly enough about it, how are you going to fix it? How is it going to be fixed for the rest of us if you're not pursuing it?
Yeah.
Corey says, I've met enough resellers to know I'd last 5 minutes as an eBay phone rep.
Oh my God. Right?
Well,
that's me.
But I would just explain, look, my boss won't let me do anything about this. That's what I'd say. I might get fired for it, but that's the truth. They won't train us to handle these situations, so I can't help you.
eBay doesn't give me the tools to give you a helpful answer, so.
Duncan wants to know what's for dinner.
We are having shredded chicken tacos.
I've been having that on the slow cooker all day.
It smells divine.
With all the
my
herbs
house.
and spices and all that stuff. So
It smells so good.
let's see. Pico, bear in mind, half the time when they put you on hold, they're still listening to you. Okay, here's a tip, guys. When a rep puts you on hold and there's nothing but silence, there's no hold music.
You're not on hold.
You are on mute. Okay, which means that they have their headset on. They can hear you. They can hear you talking crap about them, but you cannot hear them saying this guy's an asshole. He's calling me names or whatever he's saying under his breath because you're on mute. And I think the reason why they hit the mute button and not the hold button is because they're measured how long they keep someone on hold. And if they push the hold button too many times or they leave you on hold too long, it hurts their metrics. So they're very, they might have just gotten counseled on that because their hold time was too long. So they'll hit the mute button. And at that point, when that happens, I'll say, I know I'm on mute. Can you go ahead and put me on hold now? And magically, you'll hear the hold music. Because I don't want that. I don't want them to be listening to me when I know that I'm on hold.
Because it means they're not completely focused on what you're calling for, and they need to stay focused on what you called for and to help resolve whatever situation you're having.
Because many times reps will hit that mute button and have a conversation with the neighbor who's not on a call, right? Oh, can you tell me more about that thing that happened last night?
Yeah.
And
hey, you want to go to lunch?
Yeah. If they're hitting the mute button to sneeze, that's one thing. But it's another to put me on mute. When you just said you're putting me on hold, and I don't hear the hold music. So, that's the thing. You hear that? You're on hold. You'll know you're on hold. You just want to be like over the call after you hear that. Biscuit Bus says, true fact, they became friends with the eBay rep from Colombia and we're friends to this day.
What?
Then you
That's
need to keep
weird.
you need to be asking that person some information then, if that's the case. Yes. Jovio says, keep my dinner warm because I'm on my way.
God. Come on
well,
over.
we just need to know where you're coming from.
We'd love for you to come on
We just
over.
need to know where you're leaving from.
We would love it.
Biscuit Butt says, she is and her friends, she got it made. I hearted her friend's photo that friended me.
Oh boy, here we go.
We need a FA recipe channel. Look, I just whip things together, guys.
He does. He really, literally does. I have an entire section for spices and all the things, and he has a whole door full. I open my pantry door, and all of his spices are on the inside of that door on racks, and.
The Gargoyles Den diecast, sometimes when you put your on mute, it's them trying to see if you say something incriminating. I used to be a CS agent.
Yes.
And then Organic Etho says that you're exactly correct about the hold mute button. I was a call center manager for 10 years. Here's another trick. If you work in a call center and there's no calls on hold, you're basically in queue, right? So you might be the 5th person in line to get the next call that comes in. If you never want to take a call, keep hitting the available button. I'm getting so many people fired right now. I did that one time when I was a new hire. It was not busy, and I was reading a good book. And this is when we had books and not tablets, and they're like in the 90s. And I just we call it recycling yourself. And I'd be like sending myself back to the end of the line. And
I can't believe
I did get counseled for that. I did do that.
I can't believe
you gotta look,
John. If anybody knows, John is a goody two shoes. He follows every rule. He's very loyal. He doesn't do anything to make waves.
How do you learn the
that
rules?
Surprises
but
me.
you gotta learn to break the rules. You cannot learn the rules if you haven't broken them. You can hear about the rules, but you'll never know the true impact of breaking a rule unless you've broken it yourself.
Tell that to your kids.
Yeah. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you guys over to, I can't do a raid. I want you guys to go over to Bearded Picker's channel.
You better go.
Yeah, go over to Bearded Picker's channel, get over there, and continue the conversation. Guys.
We love you.
Yep.
We hope you have a great week.
But figuring out and waiting for the things that eBay is going to launch in the fall is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you to have a great weekend, and we will talk to you guys here very soon.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. Vero takedowns, they're a pain. What can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy, by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the things that are within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy, by your side. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. Flipping ain't easy, by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the things that are within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have